Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soul Standing. My name is Beth, and even though I thought I wasn't going to do this, I'm going to go ahead and give you hopefully a very short January wrap up. Now, I don't have an editing program, as you well know, because I put out these videos unedited. So I can't put pictures of books up for you. And the vast majority of the books I completed in the month of January were either audiobooks or library books, and the rest of them are packed away, um, waiting for the day that I'm going to move, which doesn't seem like it's going to be anytime soon at this point. Um, but you never know. You never know. Anyway, so basically, I'm just going to give you the title and the author, my rating, and maybe a little comment or two about it, and move on. I will attempt to remember to link any reviews I may or may not have done for these things down below, and if I can still do the cards, we'll do that. If you enjoyed any of these books or you want to chat about any of them, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite book or least favorite book or both were for January. And yeah, let's just get right into it. The first book I completed in the month of January was Kazuo Kibuyoshi's Firelight, which is the seventh book in the Amulet series, which is a graphic novel series. I really enjoy this series. I can't really say much about it though, because this is number 7 in the series. If you haven't read it and you're looking for an interesting kind of sci fi um, graphic novel to check out, I would definitely say go check out the Amulet series. That I completed on January 1st. On January 2nd, I completed The Chocolate Book Bandit, a chocoholic mystery by Joanna Carl. This is the 13th in the series, but the first one I was picking up, and I really didn't like the writing style. There were a lot of things that got repeated over and over again that, you're on the 13th book, and even in the first book, that was a few too many repeats. So I wound up giving it a 3 star. The plot was decent, but the writing style I didn't enjoy very much. Next, I completed My Lady Jane, which is the first in the Lady Janies series. The second book is coming out next month, I think, maybe. I should have checked that out. I'm really looking forward to the next book. This is a series of alternative history books written by 3 authors. The only one listed on the Goodreads page I'm looking at is Cynthia Hand, but there are 3 of them. They do a fabulous job. I listened to the audiobook and it was amazing. I gave this book my first 5 star of the year. And yeah, definitely check it out. Next, I completed Size 14 is Not Fat Either, which is the second book in the Heather Wells mystery series by Meg Cabot. I had completed the first book like a couple of days earlier. So, right at the end of December, I read Size 12 is Not Fat. And then I just went on to read all 5 books in the series in the month of January. So, obviously, I enjoyed them. Every single book got a 4 stars, and I think that you should go read them. That's all I'm going to say about any of them. Just know that out of the 17 books I read in January, 4 of them were by Meg Cabot. And they were the Heather Wells series. All right, January 7th, I completed an audiobook with my daughter, which was Strangers on a Train, the second book in the Nancy Drew Diaries series by the ghostwriter or ghost written Carolyn Keene. I would give it about a 2.5. She gave it a 4, so on Goodreads it says I rated it a 4. Uh, but I'm used to the classic Nancy Drew, and this is not it. However, it was still pretty good. All right, next we completed another of Elena's books, and that is The Haunted Library by Dory Hillstead Butler. It's another children's chapter book. We gave it a 3.5 star. Very cute little book, and the first in a series. Unfortunately, our library does not have the rest of the books in the series right now. So I think there are 3 or 4 books out in that series at the moment, but we were unable to continue on with it at the moment. We should be able to go on soon. The library was checking into getting those for us. All right, next I completed Big Boned, which was book 3 in the Heather Wells series. After that, I completed The Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris. I love Neil Patrick Harris, and I really loved his autobiography, so I was hoping that his middle grade debut would be fabulous, and I was not disappointed. The Magic Misfits got the second 5-star rating of 2018. It's fabulous. I listened to the audiobook, which he narrates, which makes it even better. Definitely, definitely go and read it if you enjoy magic, middle grade, adventure, circus folk, any of that stuff. Go read the book. All right, next I completed size 12 and Ready to Rock, which was Heather Wells' number 4. After that, I completed listening to the audiobook for Outlander. This is a reread for me, but I had not read it in over a decade. So I kind of counted it as a both a reread and a new read, if that makes sense. I was horribly afraid that I was going to wind up hating this book that I have loved for so long. I used to reread it all the time back in college, and it had been 10 or 11 years since the last read. I switch back and forth between the audio and my physical copy, and I'm happy to say that Outlander by Diana Gabaldon received the third 5-star um, rating of 2018. So my January's pretty hot, guys. Thornhill by Pam Smye was my next completed read. This book, I don't know how to describe it. It's creepy, it's thrillery, it's middle grade, and it has one story told completely in illustrations and then the other story told in diary entries, and it kind of flips back and forth going from 1982, I believe, to 2017, and flips back and forth between illustrations and diary entries, and it's very, very creepy and very well done. I gave it a 3.5 star. Next, I completed The Bride Wore size 12, which was the final Heather Wells mystery by Meg Cabot. Gave that a 4-star as well. Then Elena and I listened to Hurry Up Houdini, which is the Magic Treehouse book number 50 by Mary Pope Osborne. We gave that a 4.5 star. We then listened to High Times for Heroes, Magic Treehouse number 51, and gave that a 4.5 star as well. I also, in that time, read I'm Just No Good at Rhyming and Other Nonsense for Mischievous Kids and Immature Grown-Ups by Chris Harris. It reminded me a lot of the Shel Silverstein books that I used to adore when I was younger, and I absolutely loved it. Gave it a 4 stars. Then I read You're Never Weird on the Internet by Felicia Day, and I listened to the audiobook for that one. She narrates the audiobook. It was fabulous. I loved it. I love Felicia Day. And it was so funny because there are a lot of phrases that my best friends and I use all the time that most people around us kind of look at us sideways and quirk their eyebrows at us. And we don't really know where we got the phrases from. We just know we use them. And Felicia Day used a lot of those phrases. So obviously, it's kind of a weird, nerdy 80s and 90s girls phrase thing. But, it made me feel a lot of solidarity with Felicia Day. So that was beautiful, beautiful thing. I gave her 4 stars. The final book that I completed in January was Serafina and the Twisted Staff, which is the second book in the Serafina series by Robert Beatty. And I gave it a 3 stars because I liked the first half of the book. But even though I completed listening to the entire audio of the book, I cannot tell you what happens after about 55 to 60% through. I have no recollection whatsoever. I listened to the whole thing and I didn't fall asleep or anything. I was working. I just cannot tell you what happened. So I gave it about a 2.5 to a 3 star. I didn't want to go back and reread any of it. I just didn't care anymore, which makes me sad because I really enjoyed the first book. But I will not be continuing on if there are more Serafina books, at least not at this point. So there's that. And that is all 17 books that I completed in the month of January. I would love to hear from you about your thoughts on any of the books I mentioned. If you've read them, if you want to read them, all that jazz. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. And welcome to the 5 or 6 new subscribers I have. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. I will probably have something new to talk to you guys about soon. I'm finishing up a couple of other couple of other books. I just need to go take a nap. That's all I need to do. That's it. I don't need to read. I need to sleep. What am I doing talking to you guys? Anyway, I'm finishing up a few more books and I will probably be reviewing them for you soon. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Bye.